sorry. Welcome back to an episode of the Butterfly Throne podcast, hosted by your girl Star. And the topic of today is WrestleMania and my WrestleMania prediction. This will probably most likely be a short live. Um, However, I do want to give my opinion of who I think will win certain matches at WrestleMania. So bear with me. Um, the first hour, you have Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. I feel like this should be a good one based on the story they kind of build up around Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, especially when Jacob Fatu thinking that Drew McIntyre is the one who took him out a couple of months ago. And Drew blaming Jacob for the reason why he's not longer champion and lost to Cody, which that part is true, but still. Um, I feel like this is one of the matches I'm looking forward to. And this is being, if I'm not mistaken, Jacob Fatu's first WrestleMania. And so I would love to see Jacob winning. And maybe this would make have Drew to crash out. Who knows? Um, but yeah. Then you have the 6-man tag match. You have LA Knight and the Usos versus Division I Show Speed, which out of all the matches to have celebrities in, I don't mind the I Show Speed one because the way they built it up based off the curse that Danhausen put on I Show Speed. And as much as y'all know, I cannot stand Logan Paul. But if the curse that's on I Show Speed can help them lose to the Usos and LA Knight, I'm here for it. And it's kind of like, I like Theory, don't get me wrong. I just don't like the fact that he's tag team with a douche. And it just me, it is what it is. But yeah. Um, who I got winning this? I want to give it to the Usos, but I feel like the way it been going, it could go the opposite way. But who knows? Um, and then you have the actual show. That was the first hour pre-show, but still, or don't say pre-show, but like the first hour that's free or whatever on ESPN. And then you have the Fatal 4-Way Women's Tag Team match with uh Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair versus Lash Legend and Jax, as well as Bailey and Lyra and the Bellas. Honestly, I just hope the Bellas don't make it to Mania. I'm sorry, not sorry. I'm just saying we don't need the Bellas. That's just me personally. Um, because I feel like their time came and passed. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, yeah, they could still can go, but maybe because me, I'm not a fan of them, and so it's kind of like, eh. But yeah, I would either like to see Lash Legend and Nia Jax continue retaining. If not, give it to Bailey and Lyra. That's my only thing about that one. Um, let's see. But yeah, so I would like to see that. And then you have the AJ Lee versus uh Becky Lynch. You have honestly, even though this is AJ first WrestleMania back, I feel like this also match could have just stayed on Raw. For me, I'm perfectly honest, and they could have used this as a way of using R-Truth and them in a Fatal 4-Way Gauntlet match as well, or a Fatal 4-Way match, or Truth that match for the tag team champions as well, in order to help the mid card slash tag division to be show more or to be on notice. Um, but yeah, but out of AJ Lee and Becky, my mind is telling me AJ is gonna win, but my gut is gonna tell me that Becky is gonna take it and retain it, or yeah, take it back. Probably with the help of somebody. Who knows? The Gunther versus Seth Rollins is next. Honestly, this whole little match thing came out of nowhere. And honestly, I feel like the only reason why this happened because Ray faked being injured or he talked to somebody else. And so he didn't want to retire at WrestleMania. Probably not in the hands by Gunther. Maybe he preferred to do this in a certain way at WrestleMania or he wanted his son to take that title. I don't know. But yeah, but I feel like they just threw this one together. Now that Paul owes Gunther a favor, whatever that might be. Out of this, I hope Seth wins, but I have a feeling that Braun Breaker is gonna come back at WrestleMania and cost uh, Seth Rollins this match. Um, that's just my prediction and me only. I mean, some people might be agree, some people might want me, some people won't. That's just me. And then you have the Women's World Championship with Stephanie Vakura versus uh, Liv Morgan. Honestly, I feel like um, this could go either way because their storyline been so good, and this past Monday with the headbutt to um, from Liv to Roxanne via Stephanie, I feel like it should be interesting. However, I feel like as much as I want Stephanie to retain, I think this is gonna give to Liv. I mean, unless it might throw a monkey wrench in it, which I doubt it, but still. Uh, but yeah, if Raquel interferes, then it's kind of predictable on that front. But if not, it is what it is. Then you have the main event of night one, which is the Cody Rhodes and the Randy Orton. I don't know why they put Pat McAfee in that corner. It's like, brother. But yeah, what I was gonna say. I really hope that Randy get his 15-time World Championship. Honestly, do. Uh, and I'm here for it. I've my only scuffle about this whole storyline with the whole Cody and Randy is why in the hell they put Pat McAfee in it when you have dinner 20 years of Randy and Cody together. They could have easily played a part on. They could have played with from Randy kicking his daddy RKOing him and his daddy him being a reason. Triple H fired him at one point or at that point. So on and so forth. And it's kind of like you needed fucking Pat McAfee to be the voice of reason of why Randy doing what he doing. Randy never needed nobody to do what he does before. So why? Why would TKO put Pat McAfee in it? You know what I mean? And then my thing is the whole storyline where, you know, I came to save the company and shit. No, that whether you there or not, Pat McAfee, that is going to hell in a hell bag. I'm sorry. Much as I enjoy WWE, but I feel like you're not going to be the reason why, you know, you're the reason that wrestling is being saved. Because that's not realistic. When you have fucking the ticket price is higher than most people fucking rent and mortgages. It's kind of like asking me to choose between my house and WWE. I'm good. Let's go back to the time when shit wasn't costing that much for going to WrestleMania tickets or going to a Raw or SmackDown. I like that idea. You know what I mean? Because your average friends are still struggling to get things to have ends to meet to even go to these damn shows. Unless you're catering to only to the millionaires and billionaires, then whatever. But still, and I was like, you're doing too much. And this is why, don't get me wrong, AEW is breaking that threshold of becoming dinner neck and neck with WWE. I mean, they not there yet, but they dinner close. They beat them out. They outbeat them when it came to Sports Illustrated, who was the number one company at that moment, as far as the most views, and it was AEW. So, but I digress. But yeah, for this storyline, you don't need Pat McAfee. I feel like he's a non-factor, and I feel like that's WWE/TKO's fault of keep adding celebrities in matches where a situation didn't belong. Because then on SmackDown, you literally put fucking Jelly Roll in this fucking situation with Pat McAfee, and it's kind of like, why? Can we not tell a story without these two in it? Can we only just tell a story with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes only, based off the history they have and legacies all the way up to now? Like, come on. I could write that my damn stuff, and I'm not even a writer when it comes to wrestling. But I digress. That's just me. But yeah, I hope Randy wins because I'm tired of seeing Cody as champion, to be honest. But still, that's just me. Night two. First, I'd say the first 2 hours are on ESPN before you see it on whatever. You have the Oba Femi match versus Brock Lesnar. And in all honesty, this match is one like the most highly anticipated matches of one of the night two, anyways, because the whole week, the week of them getting there trying to take each other out with objects and whatnot, and over treating Brock like a little ass kid and whatnot. So I'm kind of interested in it. Hopefully, Oba does win, and there's like Brock way, quote unquote, of pushing Oba. But then again, he might be treat him just like the Kofi Kingston and the Big E's and help smurge their ass too. Who knows? Um, then the other second match of that one, you have Rusev versus Ray versus JD Vadonum versus Penta versus Javon Evans versus Dragon Lee for the IC champion in a 6-man ladder match for the IC champion. And I'm like, honestly, if Penta don't retain it, I hope that is Javon that wins it. I mean, I will be shocked as fuck if JD wins it. Or if Rusev even win it. Ray don't need it. Honestly, he doesn't. Because the man is more injured than anybody I know, so why would they give him a title? Just keep it on pencil or give it to Javon. And if you want to throw a curveball, give it to Dragon Lee or give it to JD. That's just my opinion. But my only main two is Penta and Javon. Then you have this Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams. In all honesty, I feel like this match should have been a Fatal 4-Way match. I feel like it should have been Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams versus Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes. Let it be a Fatal 4-Way match for United States champion, and the winner gets the championship. And I feel like that'd have been one of the banging ass matches of the night, because I'm guaranteed that all those men will definitely push each other to the limits. You know what I mean? Especially Carmelo so far been putting on grade A matches ever since he had the title, with the Open Challenge. So I feel like he been holding his own, and his matches normally go from 7 to 8 minutes, and he put on a damn good ass match on top of that while retaining. So I feel like they should have made that a Fatal 4-Way match, because Sammy got through bitch. Sammy just not so long ago complaining. That was like last year. Complaining last year that he wanted to be a world champion again, and yeah, but you keep settling for mid card titles. Then you bitch and complain and pull a fucking Rhea and put yourself in a match that you didn't even belong in. Yeah, granted, it was the Open Challenge, but I feel like it's crazy that you keep teasing Tama Tonga and his IC picture, and then you had Mello minutes before the match even happened, confronting Tama about when you're gonna take your chances, or you gotta get your permission through Solo, so in order to do it. And I was like, why not give it to fucking Tama? Give it to Tama and let Tama face it. You know what I mean? Could have faced him. But no, Sammy had to cry like a little bitch and he got himself in an IC match, not IC match, United States Championship match that he didn't want me, didn't necessarily need to be in order for him to have his WrestleMania moment. If y'all get the fuck out of my face with that shit, I'm like, it's crazy because I never used to not like Sammy. I mean, I wasn't crazy about him, but I never not liked Sammy. And for people, and for him to pull his seniority or whatever the case might be in order to get that fucking matches is beyond me. So in that case, I hope his ass loses and Trick Williams wins. So that way him and Mello can run his shit back. I'm just saying. And Sammy can go back to being conspiracy Sammy. Um Next is the Jade versus uh Rhea match, which honestly I have no high hopes in this match, no matter who wins this, because Rhea always trying to find herself in a title picture, whether it's through from EO or through somebody else, and it's kind of like it's annoying. And so that's just me personally. Um, they can do without that. If I'm not going to say they can do without that, because their chemistry, you can tell they don't like each other. You can tell the people that's involved for Jay's side of the team, all they on fuck with everybody. Everybody don't fuck with everybody, and I feel like this is more of a y'all gonna work this shit out and make this story believable. And I feel like it's not giving what you wanted to give. And I feel like they could have continued to with the Twitter issue, and maybe they probably made it more compelling. Because remember, Naomi was doing that too. You know, tracking him on social media as well as talking shit on him on live. But everybody liked her as a heel, so you know what I mean. I guess everybody's different, but it's one of the matches I personally don't care for. Um, so it don't matter who wins and who loses on this one. It is what it is. I just hope that the EST or somebody who we know will come back and put both of them on notice. That's just me. And then you have Rey Mysterio, not Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. You know what I mean? Even though they teasing that you're gonna be the Demon Finn Balor, which I feel like that should be more of a surprise instead of announcing it. You know, just have Dom versus Finn, and then him coming out thinking that everybody thinking that he's coming out as his regular self, and then instead it switches up mid song to the Demon one, and it surprises people. That's how they should have did it. But I digress, and not everybody think that way. But I feel like this should be a good match. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Hopefully they don't cancel it, but still, I feel like this be a good one. And hopefully they will put Finn in a more serious storyline that what leads up to a world championship, because that man needs the redemption story for a man who never lost the world universal champion and only relinquished it due to an injury and never got the chance to get that shit back. So I hope he has his moment and he keeps it about a good few weeks to a moment into a month before somebody snatches it away from him. Then the main event you have for night 2, which is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And I feel like, I want Roman to win, even though a lot of people not thrilled about having a part-timer as champion. But if Roman does decide to come back more fully, or at least make more appearance rather than wrestle, then I'm here for it. You know what I mean? But he don't even have to wrestle, just make more appearances. And if he does do like a match here and there on a Raw or whatever, then that's cool too. You know what I mean? But honestly, my mind says Roman's gonna win, but my gut is telling me that Punk is gonna end up retaining due to interference. It could be from interference from Jay Uso or somebody else. And if it doesn't, cool, cool beans by any means necessary. But I feel like anything that happened after night 1 and night 2 it's gonna bleed over to SmackDown and Raw. And all honestly, whether it's new storylines, that is for the better or for the worse. And so it's only time will tell. But yeah, that's my prediction. I don't know if it's something you might be interested in or you agree with. Um, Feel free to tell me your side of the story, your prediction of who's gonna win in night one and night two. Put it in the comments. If I get it, I will reply back. Um, but yeah, but thank you for listening to me ramble about WrestleMania night one and night two of predictions. And I guess I will see you guys next time in a good episode. So yeah, see you.